Why church? Why church? To remember that our bones are grown up from the dirt of this earth, that our breath is this planet breathing us into existence, that our hearts beat in time with the rhythm of eternity, that our voices make audible the songs of the universe. Why church? To remember that I am a unique and precious expression of the cosmos, that reality both distracts and reveals, that my deepest and truest self cries out for discovery, and that in offering of ourselves, we become truly full. Why church? To remember that each gathering is greater than the sum of its parts, that community gives us both roots and wings, that strength emerges from mutuality and relationship, and that we know life in and through each other. Why church? To remember spirit, breath, life, love. Why church? To remember. Good morning. I'm Pam Romancic. I'm a cisgendered queer white woman serving the Countryside Unitarian Universalist Church, and my pronouns are she and hers. And in celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow, we're going to take a moment to simply remember that this beautiful land that we live on, that the congregation sits upon, is part of an unceded territory. The Palatine Library website says, "We acknowledge that the Palatine area was originally inhabited by Algonquin people, including the Miami and the Potawatomi. Native groups, including the Winnebago Ho-Chunk and the Kickapoo, also have ancestral ties to the area. The Potawatomi had the most extensive presence in the Palatine area well into the 19th century. These native groups were stewards of the land until their removal in the Treaty of Chicago in 1833. White settlers occupied their native lands in the Palatine area beginning in the 1830s, and native peoples were erased from people being aware of them. Not that they're not here. We recognize past harms done to Indigenous people of Palatine and celebrate the accomplishments of Indigenous nations. On this Indigenous Peoples Day, we ask you to reflect on the injustices done to Native nations, both in the past and in the present." End quote. While we cannot change the past, we can remember it and do our best to honor the worth and dignity of every single person in this particular time and this particular space. Can I have our chalice lighting now?
The words of our chalice lighting are by Reverend Dr. Rebecca A. Savage. This is a chalice of audacious hope, signaling our intention to listen deeply, reflect wisely, and move boldly toward our highest ideals. And now, if you will rise, we're going to be saying our covenant. I have a few words before that. And hello, my name is Lois Phillips, and my pronouns are she and her. Our church shares a covenant that we make with one another, a promise that helps to remind us of why we gather and how we want to be with one another. And if you will join me, and don't forget that we will have an opening hymn afterwards, so please remain standing. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service.
Oh, please be seated. So sorry. Now is the time for our Wonder Box. So any young or young at heart would like to come on up? Yay. Hello. Yay. Hi, Lord. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Anybody else? Any young at heart want to come up and join us? It's okay. Okay, so today's service is going to be about friendship. It's about community and belonging. So what do you imagine might be in this box today? Let's just wonder. Let's give it a thought and think about it and wonder for just a few seconds. Wonder what could be in this wonder box. Any guesses? Yes. Something about what? Earth. Something about Earth is a good guess. Yes, William?
A map.
A map.
A Valentine.
Well, that would be a great guess. A map and a Valentine. Good guesses. You guys always think of better things than me. Any other guesses out here? Or the choir? A fish. A fish would be a good guess. But who? A leaf. A leaf would be a good guess. Okay. A mail-in ballot. I'm not giving that up. Okay, would one of you want to come up and answer? Open the box? I don't think you have yet. Oh, would you like to open the box? No. Okay, you can. That's okay. Yeah, you guys have seen one of these, huh? We have a big one right over there too, don't we? Yes. Thank you so much, William. Yeah, it's just people dancing together and celebrating, and dancing around a fire. So, celebrations and stuff. So we will leave them here, so we can see it. So we have them balanced on each side. And then I'm going to invite Reverend Karen to come up and tell you a story.
Hello, everyone. Okay. The cover. We're going to start the show. Okay. A doozy of a drowsy made Mrs. Clammy yawn. Anybody ever do that? Oh, gosh, that feels good. Everybody should do that with me. Then a current whooshed, and her pearl was gone. Oh, Mr. Swish swam forth. Oh, we have a visual aid. Woo! Okay, here's the thing about the visual aid. It's big. It's a clownfish. This is Elisha who's helping me. Thank you. If it comes towards you, you can bat it away. Okay? It's just a balloon. Yay! Mrs. Clam, don't weep. I will find your pearl. That's a promise I'll keep. He swooped through the water, swimming close to the sand. He eyed every inch of that busy bottom land. He found a lucky marble he thought a pearl might be. Then a hidden voice whispered, "It's further out to the sea." So he swam a little deeper, where the lights grew dimmer and his heart fluttered, and Mr. Fish grew grimmer. I'm as fast as a sailfish. I am as strong as a shark. I'm as smart as a dolphin, but I'm scared of the dark. Oh, Mr. Fish felt a poach on his hope. Then a whisper from before said, "It's down beyond the slope." So he swam a little deeper, where the light grew glimmer, and his heart fluttered, and Mr. Fish grew grimmer. I'm as fast as a sailfish. I'm as strong as a shark. I'm as smart as a dolphin. But what do you think he was?
Scared of the dark.
Scared of the dark, that's right. Are you afraid of anything? I'm afraid of some things. Dark sometimes is one of them, too. A whirl of wiggly worms made the search team swirl, and they helped with the hunt for the yawn-gone pearl. I wonder if you guys had joined Elijah to search for the pearl. There you go. You don't have to if you don't want to. But nothing was discovered. Mr. Filch felt despair. Then a soft voice whispered, "In the trench. Check there." The trench, so he swam a little deeper where the light grew dimmer and his heart flutter and Mr. Fish grew grimmer. "I'm as fast as a fish, I'm as sharp and as strong as a shark, I'm as smart as a dolphin, but I'm..." What do you think he is? Is he still scared? Scared of the dark! That's right! "I won't keep swimming in that deep black. I know I made a promise, but this fish is heading back." Then a whisper, now familiar, right? Oh, whisked in his head. "You can do it, Mr. Fish," her sweet voice said. That there wasn't any light, not the smallest, slimmest glimmer. Mr. Fish felt braver, cheered on by Miss Swimmer. 2, 3, 4 are faster than a sailfish. They're stronger than a shark. They're smarter than a dolphin. They're bigger than the dark. So they swam down together, holding fin to fin. Then suddenly, amazingly, light shone in. Mr. Fish said, "Yes." Mrs. Shimmer shouted, "Yay! There's Mrs. Quill's clam! Hooray! Hooray!" I'm wondering if somebody at the table could ball up a piece of paper and hand it to you as a pearl. I'll bet they could. Or find something that you think might look like a pearl. It's okay. They smooched Mr. Lancer. Oh, then they smiled as they swam, weaving back through the water to happy Mrs. Clam. The whole gang gathered, feeling glorious and proud. They swam in a circle and then they sang out loud, "The ocean, look at that, a pearl." And it was a pearl from Mom. I love that. Who's a parent here who's given pearls to their children? Right? Okay, thank you. The whole gang gathered, feeling glorious and proud, and they swam in a circle and sang out loud, "The ocean is wide, the ocean is deep, but friends help friends, that's a promise we'll keep." So, we are bigger, all of us. We're bigger. We are always, always bigger, especially when we could reach out and get pearls. Thank the dark. With that, we're going to leave the fish up here. I don't know. You put it wherever you want. It'll stay there. Fear not. The lovely yarn is heavy enough that it will hold the fish where it is. So says, I know. People are like, it's okay. Okay. Thank you. With the pearl.
We'll give the pearl to someone.
There you go. Yay! Thank you. Okay, we're going back to our seats.
So, as your offering is taken, you're to put something in and take something out of the basket that's going around with Post-it notes and pens and markers, because I'm going to ask you to write something on the said Post-it notes later on in the service. So it's kind of an exchange today.
We give to support our church and community. Giving is a way to participate in love and blessings. Generosity opens us to more love. It is a way to sow, to commit ourselves to a beloved community where we can inspire, heal, and belong. Together, we will reap the blessings to come. The offering will now be gratefully received.
our time in the service where we do a meditation. And since we're an all-generation service today, I'm going to invite us to do more of a moving meditation maybe than we usually do. So if any of our young folks want to stand up and come up front, you're welcome. And for everybody, do what feels comfortable for your body. So if you're going to do all of the meditation, imagining in your head, that's fine. And if you want to stand up and move and stretch, that's fine as well. So our meditation today is a moving meditation. So first I'll just ask us to take a few breaths in, very deep. Breath in. And then releasing breath. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Maybe one more. And then releasing any tension, any anxiety, anything that's holding on in your body, just let it run down your shoulders, your back, through your legs, your feet, down into the rich earth below. And then the first step of our meditation today is to just reach up as high as you can, as high as feels comfortable. Reaching up to connect to the stars, connect to that which is so far beyond us. And then pulling all the energy that we can gather from those stars and pulling it down into our bodies, down, 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 right about to our hearts. And then just breathe in all that beautiful star energy in our hearts. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Feel the energy building in your body. And then I'm going to invite you next to take your hands and reach down to the earth below us. You can reach all the way to the ground if you want to, or you can just aim your hands down there and imagine that your feet are planted in that rich, dark earth. Imagine that you're growing roots down, down deep into the ground, standing firm and connected, gathering all that the earth has to give us, all of that strong earth energy. Breathe that in and out for a minute. Now invite that energy to come up through your roots, through your feet, through your legs. Stop at your heart for a moment, but then keep on going. Raise your hands very slowly above your head and imagine that you're becoming a tree. Imagine your fingers are spreading branches and leaves, that they are taking in sunlight, that all of that energy is flowing into your body, and that you're just a tree standing with a light breeze, appreciating the birds, listening to the breeze whistling through your branches. But now the wind is getting a little stronger. You can feel that wind blowing you one way and then blowing the other. Now it's getting stronger yet. Oh, you can feel that wind just tugging at you, wanting to pull you over. But your roots are strong. Even as you feel the wind pulling at you, you can feel that you are grounded in this earth. And now the wind is slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And now you're going to bring your branches into your heart. Breathe in that energy in your heart for a few minutes, just in and out. Connected. And now come back into this space again. Draw up your roots. Draw all that energy that's in your heart space and open it wide to the people around you. And go to one side and bow to those people. Say, thank you for being here with me. Slowly, slowly go to the other side. Bow to those folks. Thank you for being here with me. And then hold all of that lovely energy in your heart. Carry it with you for the rest of today. You can be seated now. Thank you. Because this is the part where we take all that energy and we send it out to the people that need it. Because this is our recognition of all of the joys and concerns which we share in this community. And just a reminder, if you have anything to share during the week, you can always go to the website, and there's on the Pastoral Care tab, there's a form that you can fill out. And in our weekly newsletter, there's always a form you can fill out. And you can always call one of our lay pastoral teams, lay ministry teams, and you can call me if you need some support. This week, we need to send our love and healing energy to Yvonne Anderson, who had surgery. May she be healed and feel better very shortly. And we give warm congratulations to Lois and Jeff Phillips, who welcomed a new grandson, little Samuel. Welcome, Samuel. And there's just a thing, did you notice that Joy Simon had 2 little grandsons with her last Sunday? You could tell by the big smile on her face. They were visiting from Bali and having a great time with their Nana. And we send a lot of love to the Schnitzlers who had to say goodbye to their beloved dog. Sadly, again, we hold all the folks suffering the after effects of another hurricane, Milton. And you can still send relief through the UA Disaster Fund. For all of those intentions which might remain in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, know you are held and you are loved by this community. Please remain seated as we hear a beautiful offering by the choir.
Voices of the old women.
questions that have no right to go away are those that have to do with the person we are about to become. They are conversations that will happen with or without our conscious participation." End quote. The words of David White. Lance Odgaard made comments about this particular quote. He wrote, "The depth and authenticity of all of the outer conversations will only be as real as the internal conversations, that is, unceasing and often unconscious within each of us. This is a conversation of identity and vocation. Who am I? What am I here to do? What is uniquely mine to offer the world? And how will I bring it forward?" Finding the conversation beneath the conversation could mean becoming conversant with the buried, forgotten parts of ourselves. Namely, being reunited with the core vision of your heart. Finding the conversation beneath the conversation could mean finding that central conversation between what you most want in the world and what the world is asking of you. Finding the conversation between the conversation beneath the conversation could mean discovering the start of your next change. And thus ends the reading.
And we looked around the living room, we couldn't find it. It had gone all the way down the hall, through a doorway, and was in the bedroom. So it has a mind of its own. Yeah, kind of like people, right? We all just do what we're trying to do. Today, we're talking about love and belonging in fish, obviously. The kind of love that makes you feel accepted and appreciated for who you are. You learn lessons so many different ways in life. And this is a good one. Can you guys bear with the fish, or should we move it? If I get too boring, you can keep washing the fish. So, what am I going to say here? Oh, the kind of relationships like the one between Miss Shimmer and Mr. Fish. That was that one in the Big, Big Dark. Or the kind of love that we hope that we're going to find when we come to a place like CCUU, the Countryside Unitarian Universalist Church. And I'm going to share a story or two with you, and then I'm going to ask you some questions, which is why you have your little Post-it notes there. And so I want you to you can be thinking about them. One is, what makes you feel like you belong? And then one is, are there any times that you haven't felt it? And then the third one is, what do you love about this church? So we'll be coming back to them later. So first, I'm going to tell you a story about a cat who would also love the fish. See, this cat's name was Rupert, and he was a 20-year-old white cat that I met when I moved in with Karen back in 2011. And Rupert was about 99 and a half in cat lives, in human years, however you say that. And as an aside, Rupert's full name was Rupert Lovely. And you'll have to talk to Karen about the backstory on that. It is a small and curious world. But Rupert the cat was the quintessential old man. He was rail thin, he had this sunken-in face. His face was all whiskers, that's all you could see. But Rupert loved Karen, and when I moved in, he decided he could love me too. And he loved us a lot. His love was insistent and constant and unconditional. But Karen and I identified 3 distinct flavors of Rupert's love. The first was whiskery love. That was when he put his face right in front of yours. And he tickled your nose, with his cheeks and his whiskers all over your nose and face and cheeks. and putting his cold nose right on yours. He had to be that close to say he loved you. And we knew we were loved by Rupert. The other two kinds of Rupert love were not quite as pleasant. The one we called smelly love, because it was that sad occurrence when you got the opposite end of Rupert in your face. Old cat, enough said. And then the third kind was called crumbly love, because his old toes had gotten so skinny that he carried litter with him everywhere. So you often had it on your lap, on your shoulder, wherever he was. We vacuumed a lot. So it was not all exactly joyful, but it was wholehearted, and it was genuine, and it was generous. Rupert's love was not thought out. It was not planned, it was not orchestrated, it simply was. And now Rupert was a cat, a very smart cat, but a cat nonetheless. So he didn't have to worry about where his next meal was coming from or regret that he happened to scratch us when he was out in the hall. He just lived in the unchanging now, connected at all times to the unity of being and present in the moment. And you know, it's pretty easy to love from that place. It's pretty easy when you feel yourself connected and supported. And as Universalists and Unitarians, we think about that. We strive for that connected and supported love. And we take that from our history, from an ancestor named Hosea Ballou. And his message as a Universalist was of unconditional love. Because as a Christian, Ballou saw all people as children of a loving Father God. And he believed that the Creator of all of us would never, ever allow any of his children, his creations, to be damned or separated forever. In an address before the Universalist General Convention in 1851, Ballou illustrated his belief in a God who loves all his children when he said, "Your child has fallen into the mire, and his body and his garments are defiled. You cleanse it and array it in clean robes. The query is, do you love your child because you have washed it, or did you wash it because you loved it?" His argument that Jesus did not die for our sins, that God sent Jesus to let us know how loved we are. And not just Christians. He said all people, irrespective of names or sects or denominations, people or kingdoms, no one would be sent for an eternal punishment. And that Universalist God still lives in our memories today in the way we want to be with one another in the world. And it became a central belief that the truth is found in all religions, who unite in a common struggle against the difficulties of life. It's central to how we try to be together, that we try to welcome everyone into our communities, to try to see the good in every person, even if they might be sometimes a little comfortable to be around. And I think we can take a clue from Rupert, our old buddy Rupert, that ancient cat who loved us so much. Because sometimes we have to struggle with difficulties like whiskery or crumbly or smelly love. It's not all wine and roses. Love demands a lot of us. It demands that we remember what's important, that we let all those distractions of life, the missed meetings, maybe the forgotten birthdays, the time we didn't show up as much as we want, or somebody didn't show up for us quite as much as we would like, and we let those things fall away. We can talk about them, we can find a place, but we don't let them separate us one from the other. Love invites us back into community, like this community, because we all do our best, and we are all human, and we all fail sometimes. Yesterday, over 40 leaders of this church gathered across the hall there in Atherton Hall to dream of ways we can bring this goal of being together, of creating that unconditional love and making it real in the world. And they did that on a Saturday morning when they could have done it and doing so many other things. And I'm sure you're going to be hearing about all the great things that came out of that. But now I'm going to ask you the questions. And I'm going to ask Mike to run around and ask with the microphone so we can hear you. And Melanie and Lois are going to write down the answers to the questions up on these boards. And we're only going to take a few people in the service for each question, but then I want you to write your answers down as they come up to you, and go ahead and just stick them up on the boards, one of the boards. So the first one is we're going to ask, when have you felt like you really belonged here in this church? Can you think of a time that you're willing to share? If you just stand up. We heard some good stories yesterday, but I would like to hear from you too. Anybody here? When was the time that you just said, yes, this is my community? Okay. Siri.
People clapped when I walked in the door from who was standing around the foyer.
That's awesome. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, there's one up there.
When people knew my name, even without my name tag on.
That's a good one. Somebody back there. There you go. He's coming. It always turns out that way. Somebody at the other end and then that end.
When people call us up and say, we're coming over.
Yay. There was back in the orange sweater.
Where?
All the
Straight
way
back.
Right side.
When you celebrate Passover together, that makes me feel nice.
When we celebrate Passover together, very nice. Oh.
When I usher and people say what such wonderful hellos and ask me how I'm doing.
Awesome. Yay. And there was over there.
There was a child who gave an amazing speech earlier. I believe the child was talking about persevering and strength, and they were talking about how they had ADHD, and that just really made us as a family feel welcome. We're a family of ADHD over here, so.
Well, so glad.
Speak up so we can hear you.
Yes.
I mean, us.
When I see my friend named Elika.
Yay. See your friend named Elika. Okay.
When David bakes every Sunday for us.
Yay.
When I just see everyone I care about, I feel like I belong.
Yay. That's one awesome. Helen.
When people ask how I am and really mean it.
People ask and really mean it. Yay. Any other? There's one more over here. Tom.
Yeah, I've always loved those moments when we take collective action together and I feel like I belong to something that's bigger than me.
Nice. Okay. Are we good with that one? And if you have something that you want to just write on your Post-it note, you can come up and stick it on there, and that's great. Okay, our second one, it's a little bit harder, because it's the one that says, when have we failed? When was a time when I maybe didn't feel like I belonged? And I hope you be kind when you share that with you. And one of the examples I have from my first UU church was that it had a really strong culture of classical music, which I was not familiar with at all. And I kind of, would get in discussions and just feel like I don't belong here in those discussions. So are there any things that you would like to share that maybe can alert us to something we might do better? I didn't put a plant. There you go.
The first time that I went to the coffee hour in Atherton Hall and no one came up and said anything to me. And I left after about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm imagining a lot of people might feel that happened to them at least once. I know it has for me at other places. Yeah. Well, that one's kind of a downer, so we can skip that one and go on to the next one. But again, put it on your Post-it notes and stick them up here. You know, your story's still important. We still want to know it. And our third one is, what do you love about this church? And I hope we have a lot of things about there. Here's one up here. Thanks, Elijah. Oh, okay, enjoy. Good. Oh.
Absolutely the people.
The people, yay.
I second what she said.
I was raised Catholic, and I've met a lot of recovering Catholics here, but what I really like is meeting people with other faith backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole long list going that way, Mike. I could start in the back, maybe.
Everything?
Everything. Yay. Thank you.
My friends.
Yeah, very good.
The fact that I can come here and be my genuine self and not worry about what somebody thinks about it. They're always accepting.
That's lovely.
I love that there was an absolute drum circle here on Friday evening. That was so amazing and cool.
Thank you. Oh, there's one more up here.
Not coming from a Christian background, I like that we embrace all religions and see the worthiness of different faith traditions and embrace those of us that come from different backgrounds and somewhat similar to what was said earlier.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a couple in the choir.
I wanted to kind of echo what Robin just said, and I like that we all have different understandings of the world, and we all come, like, for example, I came the first time because my mom is a Christian, believes in Jesus, and I'm not, and we found a place where we could both have our set of beliefs and mutual respect, and all the core values that we share are celebrated because those sorts of things are not and should not be dividing factors, but rather we can all celebrate in our spiritual paths and grow and love and such together, and that makes me get goosebumps every time I think about things that are so divisive in the world that people say this is a hard line of us versus them. We can all be ourselves and have our own sets of beliefs as long as we try to do right and what's loving to each other.
Thank you.
I love the community of the choir. And also the fact that there's so much talent in this congregation that we could come together and not miss a beat during COVID. We were here every Sunday.
Wow.
Not here, but
Here, yes. But here, yes, yeah. Well, that is wonderful. Okay, yeah. Then if you haven't spoken, please write it down on your Post-it note and come on and bring it up.
The people.
Yes.
The people.
Okay, if you want to come up and bring your Post-it notes that you haven't been able to share, you're welcome to do that. Thank you. It is a crowd. I think they're just... Hi. How are you? I think the first one.
one's on this side. I don't want to.
And as we're finishing putting our stickers on the board, on the Post-it notes, this next thing I had said we were going to do a couple weeks ago, and then life got so busy in that service that we took it out. So this one is going to be that you share with each other what might be the primary reason or that you come to church, and we all share community, it feels like. But there's other ways. There's gratitude and celebration. There's justice. There's spiritual growth or intellectual growth. So the choir is going to lead us in singing songs that might hold up one of those things. And so the songs will be up, they'll be up on the board. And as they sing the song, so the first one will be gratitude and celebration. If that's your primary reason for coming, stand up and sing with the choir. And so we're going to get an idea. And then the next song, if justice is your primary reason for coming, stand up and sing with the choir. If spiritual growth, then sing that song. So it's going to kind of be a vote with your hymn kind of experience.
Can we vote more than once?
It seems like cheating, but if you want. Of course. Of course you can. So, next song is going to be for justice. If justice was one of the primary reasons that you come, we're going to sing One More Step. Our next one is spiritual growth, and that one is filled with loving kindness. So if you're here primarily for spiritual growth, but you can stand more than once, you're right.
With
one is intellectual growth. The R is a religion. All right, what do you think? What do you want to call that one? Community. Okay, it's called community. BR is a religion. Now, the last one is Spirit of Life, but we'll all sing that one.
It's in 58.
And that also illustrated our principle of the democratic process. So there you go. I'm going to invite you all to, you can stand up or not, for 1, 2, 3, Spirit of Life, which I do think is one of our deepest that all of our congregations sing, so connection to the wider world. Thank you for having patience with one another when the love gets a little crumbly. We always show up for one another, and that's what makes this place so amazing. So thank you. Amen and blessed be.
We extinguish our chalice with the words of Elizabeth Seal Jones. Words on screen, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. Now, can you rise one more time, spirit or body, and sing our closing hymn, number 1029, Love Knocks and Waits for Us to Hear.
Offers
Our closing reading is from Reverend Emily Gage. May we open our hearts and minds to one another in the world. May we let ourselves be changed by the stories around us. May we deeply listen and be deeply listened to, and be held in silence and in love. And so may it always be.